sun voi uppotua pimeään. Pohjalla kaikki on kauniimpaa, myös paiste auringon. Se polttaa pinnan alla, jätä minut kytemään. Saapuu sydänyö, enkä tiedä miksi mulla yhä sydänlyö. On päivämme täällä päättyvälistä ja unohtaminen on kuolemista. Saapuu sydänyö, kuinka kauan meillä vielä sydänlyö. On päivämme täällä päättyvälistä ja odottaminen on kuolemista.
Hello everyone, my name is Notepad Anon and I write games for fun, and unlike the other day, we are not going through abject depression. Hello! So what's on the menu today? What's on the Jammerino today? Well, last Wednesday, I didn't get a lot done for a few reasons. It was very late and I couldn't really think about things too much. Last night, I meant to get some stuff done, but it just didn't happen because, fun fact, that DICE video, I finished it at 1 a.m. That video fought me quite a bit, but I'm glad people are, I think, liking it anyway. So that's a plus on my front, so good job, team. Generally speaking, I have been doing a little bit of work on this, have no fear. After Wednesday, I had somewhat of an epiphany, you could say. Otherwise known as a Mexican femboy, gave me the idea, gave me the thought to pull this all together. Yes, a Mexican femboy did that. But have no fear, that Mexican femboy gave me this. Anchors. One thing I was constantly having an issue with was how to represent things like stability. Now, if you go down here, stability was originally going to be stress, but I got thrown for a loop. That's one of the things with this. I kind of got thrown for a loop with it, and I didn't quite know how I wanted to do things. So Wednesday, kind of not much happened with it. I kind of just got a little bit flustered. I didn't quite, things were not adding up correctly. But what happened was I thought about it for a bit, and I kind of came to the conclusion I need something to make this a double-ended thing. Now, the main way why I say anchors are so important is anchors are going to be the thing to tie everything together. Why are you streaming midnight the other day, you vampiric bastard? That day, Wednesday got, it was just one of those days that I could not, it was like, it's 5 o'clock. I can wait a little bit longer to do something. And then I was talking with my friends, and then I'm like, it's 7 o'clock. All right, I'm gonna get ready, and then oh, it's 9 o'clock. I gotta finish this thing real fast. Oh, it's 11 o'clock. I better stream. Oh, it kind of became just like this endless thing of like I'm gonna do this now and just not getting around to it till the bitter end. Yes, yesterday was just the video that took up all day, for lack of a better word. I meant to actually stream a lot earlier today. I meant to stream right when I got home. But if you want a comical series of errors, it's I got home. I'm like, okay, I'm going to have my lunch and I'm going to have my coffee and I'm going to relax. Then I saw my friends, my big boy friends, and I'm like, oh, I'll chat with them real fast. I pop in and we have this like 2-hour discussion about things about me. So there was some AI stuff we were talking about. It was a good chat. It was a good chat between all of us. Then I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna make dinner now. I'm gonna make dinner and start streaming. And I go to my kitchen and I'm like, fuck, I have nothing to make. I have all this meat I got the other day, but I have nothing to put on the meat. So I'm like, okay, I'll run down to the store. So I had to run down to the store and grab some stuff there. So I got wraps, I got stuff, put everything together, had lunch, did lunch. And then I watched a CoffeeZilla video about a bunch of YouTubers getting sued for like $1 billion in a class action against FTX. That was, I'm like, all right. So it's like, here we are, 8 o'clock. Let's go. 3, 2, 1. Let's jam. You know how it goes. Little bit hectic today for a variety of reasons. But anchors are the emotional and, I would say ironically, the character bedrock behind this game. Let me explain. Every drifter is going to have a number of these anchors. Now, why are they called anchors, you may wonder? They are called anchors because they not only hold you down, but they keep you stable. Without an anchor, you're adrift in the ocean. With an anchor, however, you're not going fast. That's kind of the issue. They're double-natured. Each of these anchors can be ranked from 1 to 5. That's how intense they are. Anytime an anchor is threatened, you're going to take a number of d10s equal to the value, you're going to roll, and you're going to take whatever the highest is. And that's how much stability damage you're going to be taking. This prompted me to also make recovery checks, because if you end up in a situation where it's like, oh, this anchor is benefiting you, you're going to do the same thing, but restore that much stability. It's double-natured. They are, each one of them, it kind of has some positives, some of them have some negatives. It's a back and forth. It's a problem, but it's a benefit. This led to me having to create the pain and recovery checks. Pain and recovery checks are just as I explained. Rather than just having like it being a set value, rolling just d10s or something, I'm like, I can't figure out a good way to do this. But then I thought about it. So you're gonna roll 3d10. You might roll 3, 4, 5 d10s. You're gonna take your dice. You're gonna roll them real fast, and you're gonna take the highest. So I rolled a 9 here. That's how much damage I would take to my stability. That's what the degree of the wound or what the scar is going to be. We'll get to the scars in a second. So it's kind of this moment of like oh fuck, I've taken a lot of damage. I'm in pain. I am in agony because I've taken a lot of, just a singular die. This does also play into the blood die. I finally put the blood die in here. I don't know why I didn't before. Where the blood die is treated as just any other die. But you can also use it for benefit, for better or for worse. So for example, let's say we have our anchor at 4, but we're a vampire and we're obsessed with it. So we're going to roll 4d10 plus our blood die. And we're going to look, luckily I only rolled a 6 on this. I rolled a 1 on my d20. But that does mean technically you can lose 20 stability right off the bat. That does mean you can gain 20 stability. Vampires are very extreme. And I wanted to represent that because I think that worked pretty well. You kind of see, it's like, oh, well, this is how it kind of works. I had to change some of the natures. This will be their first anchor. Note it down. Who are you? This is their second anchor. Wrote it down. I changed some of the ways that these are worded, where as you go through, you might say, your primary thing that you're leaving for is, it's my family. That's an important thing to you. You're escaping because of your family. Who are you? Well, I'm a soldier. Cool. I have a bond with, Natalia. With Natalia, my wife. Natalia, my wife. You might have an anchor, you might have another anchor, which is something like, beauty is life, for example. Now, you're obsessed with beauty a little bit. I spelled beauty there, but bear with me. And then each of these is going to have a rank. So if you're obsessed with your family, it's going to be a 5. If you're not really that big on a soldier, it might be there. Love your wife, obviously. That's kind of a necessary evil. Like, I love beauty because beauty is important to me. Because then you're going to start determining these things. Now, the big thing with a vampire, though, is that a vampire is going to be blood bonded to one of these. This means it's extreme for them. Anytime it's extreme, you're going to be rolling that d20. It's a pretty big fucking deal. It's like, oh no. My goal with anchors, if I can fucking speak, is this is a good thing and a bad thing. Because these things are going to be the way that you keep going, but also going to be the thing that breaks you inevitably. It might be tempting, oh, well, I just want to have the absolute highest anchors. Everything is rank 5. Because if everything is rank 5, then I always will get the best recovery out of it. I'll always get the best benefits out of it. The problem is, you're also going to be rolling 5d10 and taking the highest anytime something bad happens, anytime something is threatened. And that's a really important thing to you, where it's like, oh, you're going to lose stability a lot faster if that's kind of like a major part of your identity. But maybe you want to have some lower ones. Maybe you want to have some things that are a little bit lower because you can use them a little bit. They're a little bit more active. They're still a part of you, but it's like you still care about them. Don't get me wrong, you still care about them, but they're not going to kill you, or they're not going to completely break your existence. For better or for worse. That's kind of the idea. It gives characters a little bit more personality. The one thing that I'm trying to figure out the best way of doing this. I do kind of say, like, you're free to assign as many as you want. Generally speaking, I'm aiming for maybe about 5 anchors per player, per character. Kind of as an example there. I do use here's this fast and simple method. Like, if you just want something really simple and really to the point, which is, hey, you get 5 anchors, 18 points to distribute among them. You'll always start with 2. You'll always start with 2 of them, and you have to choose the remaining, the remaining 3. So it's like, hey, I like this. I like this. This is who I am. Blah blah blah. Very easy. Distribute 18 points. Because the big thing is here when it comes to stability and scars. Stability, we've kind of already talked about that. This is kind of it's your ability to repress or manage anxiety, injury, and terror that invades your mind. Stability keeps you functional. Stability goes up and stability goes down proactively. Anytime an anchor is threatened, you'll make a pain check. Anytime an anchor is, comforting them or you're allowed to indulge in it, you're going to make a recovery check with the same value. Hey, you can do this. Pretty much if you get into a fight, like, for example, Natalia here. Let's say our man here gets into an argument with his wife. They disagree pretty heavily on this. It's clearly it's a messy fight. They're clearly angered at each other. He's going to roll. He rolled a 7. He's going to take 7 stability from that. he's not in the right headspace. He's kind of worried, like, what's my wife thinking? What's this going on? We got to worry about this. I love this woman, but I want to fucking strangle her. And later on, the two reconcile a little bit. The two say, you know what? I blew up on you a little bit. You blew up on me. Both of us were kind of in the wrong. Both of us were also very right. I care about you. You care about me. And he's going to take those same 5 and he's going to roll. And he recovers 10 stability. Because, hey, this is my wife and I love her. It's an explosive thing back and forth. But, for example, if our boy here is a vampire, and he's blood bonded, he's gonna be adding a fucking D20 to this. He's gonna roll, oh wow, he rolled a 12. He's going to lose 12 stability on his first, if he has a fight with his wife, potentially. It's insane. You can't roll a 12 naturally on a D10, so humans can't explode as easily. However, later on, oh hey, we're making up, everyone lovey, he recovers fucking 16 stability. Because vampires are extreme individuals. But they only have 1 blood bond, kind of per leg of the journey. It's always going to be, the idea being that their obsessions kind of shifts over time. We're drawing from the original show. Dine begins obsessed. Her blood bond is with the memory of the other girl. I can't remember her name. It's pretty much the memory of this girl. And anytime she indulges in that, anytime she's trying to get Momo to act like her, to look like her, to be like her, then she's recovering her stability. She's happy when that happens. When Momo threatens that, when Momo acts like something that she's not supposed to, she's not recovering it. She's quickly losing it. Later on, though, and the show progresses, her blood bond shifts. It doesn't go from the memory of, the memory of this other girl. It goes to Momo. He cares about Momo, not necessarily the memory of this other girl. Still an important aspect of her character, but it is not the thing that is completely driving her insane. Welcome to the wonderful world of vampirism. Think smart. I'll have a fucking Mexican femboy to thank for this. This does lead me to scars. Scars are the thing that I'm not like 110% on. I know it works in my head. It doesn't. Wording it's a little bit weird. Because the entire idea behind scars is pretty easy. Stability acts as a method to repress. Scars are an expression of anguish the drifters experience. Okay. When your stability reaches 0, any further pain you suffer will be converted into a wound or turmoil. They are both hindrances to the drifter until they are successfully treated. If such an injury ever comes up, it should technically I should make this. If the scar ever comes up, they'll take a penalty equal to the severity to the judgment, to their judgments. Their judgment potentially damaging them if it's lethal enough. What does this mean exactly? Oh no! You've been shot in the leg. You've been shot in the leg, and that's a 4 severity. Hey, I need you to run. I need you to run somewhere. Because you have a 7.62 in your leg. With that, you're going to take a 4 penalty to any movement check, really. Which, at that point, at best, you're going to be rolling a 9. You need to roll a 9 up. At best. Anything more difficult than easy is going to be kind of complicated to you unless you get something to actually help you along with that. This sucks. The one thing it's a little bit strange when you get into the idea of turmoil. Turmoil, on the other hand, is emotional damage. See, getting shot in the leg, this is considered a wound. You know, this is kind of more of a physical thing. Turmoil would be like a nervous breakdown. Would be like a nervous breakdown for this is turmoil. It's a little bit more emotional, a little bit more of a lingering problem that isn't directly I've been shot, I've not been shot. It's a little bit more in the head a little bit. Fine, for example, has turmoil throughout half the show. She's a depressed wreck. She doesn't do things because it's difficult for her to do, because she's a depressed wreck. She has turmoil. She's got this turmoil which makes her life a little bit harder to do overall. Over time, it's gradually healed, but it takes some time. One of the big things, if you ever end up, if we kind of go down here, if a human or vampire sustains scars equal to the total value of their anchors, they will capitulate. Capitulating is either succumbing to their bloody injuries or giving up in the face of the nightmare. Total scars of the drifter equal or greater than the total stability that, total anchors. Anchors, they were perished and removed from the journey. This is the part that I'm not 110% on. It's what I wanted to get across was anchor's good. Anchor is a good thing, but it's also the thing kind of like constantly bringing you down, and you can take a number of these scars. You can take a number of bullets, you can take a number of emotional problems, as long as you are recovering, effectively. As long as you have the anchors to kind of offset them, you're fine. I'm hoping this works a little bit better when it comes to how they are reduced. Pretty much anytime you take a scar in any, turmoil or wound, what's going to happen is that you can do medical attention, which is pretty much you're dealing with a professional to patch up the problem. Stitching cuts, pulling out bullets, resetting bones. They're going to reduce the scar by half its current value, but there must be a payment of some kind. There's going to be a payment, or there's going to be sacrifice. There's going to be something. And you have to indulge a little bit. The idea being you have to indulge a little bit, and you're paying somebody else to help you out, effectively. Hey, I got my foot caught in a fucking bear trap. Or, even up here. Hey, I've got shot in the leg. We go to a town. I might have to buy medical equipment. Then I can make a medicine judgment to heal your leg. To reduce it by, instead of 4, it's going to be 2 now. It takes time. You're still going to have to recover, but it's going from like, okay, we're not having a good time. Oh, you're undergoing a nervous breakdown. You're clearly in the worst possible state you can be. Let's rent a nice room, and it's like, let's rent a nice room at a hotel for the day, for the night, and we just relax. No problems. We're eating good. We're eating good. We are safe. We are happy. You're spending a lot more time. Remember, cost is everything. You're spending a lot more time in a place than you really should, and people are going to kind of notice hey, this bitch be fucking losing her marbles. This is clearly not good. Like, we need to fix this person. The other one is, as a human, you reduce all your scars by 1 step. Every day, every day after you eat, the drifters will manage their scars. If you're human, you reduce all your scars by 1 step. So, for example, if we take this for like right here, you're suffering and you've been shot in the leg and you have a nervous breakdown. A human's gonna go, okay, we've eaten for the day. It's gonna go 3-3. If you have multiple of these, that kind of have to talk about this probably a little bit later on. Being like you can't stack wood. Necessarily need to do that. Then suddenly, it's like, yeah, humans are going to recover a lot slower, but a lot more gradually. That's 3 days. now of you having to deal with the fact that you've been shot in the leg. Hey, you have had a nervous breakdown. You know, it's going to take a little bit, it's taking a little bit more time for you to manage. Vampires, on the other hand, are special. They say, okay, day one, I'm no longer shot in the leg. I've fully recovered. The bullet pops out because of your regeneration. You're still having a nervous breakdown. But next day, I'm fine. Don't think about it. I'm okay. You're kind of stealing yourself a little. Vampires recover very quickly from scars. The problem being, they recover very quickly from scars, but they have to suffer with them sometimes a little bit longer. It's instead of dealing with 2 value, you're dealing with a 5 value and a bunch of other ones. So it's like, okay, what do I take away now? I have this horrifying injury. I can recover from it right now, or I can stop the one of where I am having a, you know, small mental breakdown, or like, oh, I'm horrifically I am in the darkest place I have ever been in. I can either recover my bullet wounds, or I can recover my my mental stability a little bit. The answer is there's never a good one. So that's kind of the issue there. And it's a lot. And the bigger thing too is, remember, you have to eat. That means you need blood, which cost. Everything is a cost. If you're hungry, if you're not eating properly, you are, you know, kind of like skipping days or something. You're not recovering. You're not recovering your health at all. And this isn't even factoring in, hey, like, I really need to, like, do you really want to spend money recovering from a wound the vampire kind of doesn't need to worry about as much? And the answer is probably not. You probably want to if your human friend is bleeding on the ground a little bit. I'm hoping that gives a good dichotomy to things. We can push forward because I'm fine. You know, I'm a vampire and half my arm has been blown off, but I'll recover. I'll live. On the other hand, like, you just have like a little injury, comparatively speaking. We need to rest because we need you. You are very important. But yeah, I'm hoping everything kind of clicks together in that front. I'm feeling that it will. I'm feeling it. But as you can kind of see, I did have, you know, I sat down and I kind of hammered out exactly how this is going to look. Because right now we need to work on the damned and the bloodied. That's what we're going to work on. We're going to work on the car. We're going to make our 2 example characters. Most likely we're going to try to do the judgments today. This is my goal. I want to get all of this done today. And then next week we're going to try to, not necessarily rush, but we're going to blitz through a lot of this. Kind of like explaining bits and pieces. This is how this works. My goal is to get done by next Friday. 6 episodes. They're most likely, I will be the first one to say, most likely there will be a 7th episode. Simply because Wednesday, I kind of it was a slow start, but there might be 7, there may even be 8, which is going to be, it's been a while since we've had an 8 episode nightmare, but we are making it. So, the damned and the bloodied. 2 vampires human, but the people have their own reason for traveling, being one of the 2 will affect the personal struggles, or will not personal struggles or deals. However, the reality of the matter is that vampires are faster, stronger, and hardier than humans. Their reliance on blood and aversion to the sun makes the 2 sides compatriots in this long and winding journey. Choosing who the drifter will be, they will need to shoulder consequences it will create together. One countless souls in the outland. Being human means adaptable to get this survival and skill. Mm. This, yeah. Humans aren't just going to be adaptable. Humanity is only truly afraid. Is only. How do I want this? Let's see. Humans must deal with the humans. Outside of basic needs, humans are fairly unremarkable. They will grow old. They actually yeah, adaptable drift rats plus 2 skill points. Actually, no. Humans are unique in two ways. Humans are unique in 2 ways. They can produce a pint. Actually, how blood donation. Whole blood. Let's see, how often you must wait at least 8 weeks between donations. Let's see, is it good? Link to lower blood pressure, yeah. You shouldn't technically do blood donations. When do you think yeah, that's going to be my estimate is next week. However, my estimate also assumes that I know what the fuck I'm doing. Most likely, at the current rate of things, we will have a Notepad Must Die next Wednesday and Friday. We might do a double or nothing when it comes to Notepad Must Dies to get certain aspects done. But I'm feeling competent. It's this initial hump was a little bit more complicated than I originally thought. That's one of my biggest issues. A human. Humans naturally. Humans come in all shapes and sizes. The only few things will truly differentiate. Let's see. A few things will truly differentiate them in the Ashland. Few things will truly differentiate them in the Ashlands, but among the czarist lands, pro-union. Let's see, pro-union human. Actually, humans have just about, they have, let's say they have any philosophical, they have any philosophical outlook that is possible and will frequently fight over them. Nothing truly unifies them. Except not being vampires. If rigged up correctly, a human can feed a vampire as a blood bag. A human can feed a vampire as a blood bag for around 3 months consistent. For around 3 months. After which they are too infirm or weak to continue and discarded. Donation, blood donations, blood donation. Yeah. It's a little bit of a weird note, being like, yeah, like if you can service a vampire for as a blood bag, for about 3 months. So let's actually put a footnote here. Mm, mm, there you go. Mm, uh, yeah. After life spent depending on location and diet, if rigged up correctly, a human can feed a vampire as a blood bag for around 3 months. Go. Humans are pretty simple. So we've already done this. Characteristic points. Configuration. How do I want to? Each vampire, all vampires belong to a lineage, as dictated by the Tsarist regime. As dictated by the Tsarist regime. There are a total of 5 major lineages recognized by the Tsarists, and the Union has and the Union recognizes 3. And the Union recognizes 3. The Nosferatu. Actually, no, we want to do vampire bloodline, the vampire bloodline lineage is somewhat of a real lineage of the standard vampire seen in the Ashlands. Out of all, composing around 70% of all known vampires, composing around 70% of all vampires. They look like pale humans, with light colored hair, often fit if not muscular. Most can blend in relatively easily, but they're mm, mm, but their eyes tend to be gray or other muted colors. Nosferatu lineage is seen by many as the quintessential monster vampire. They are often gangly, strange looking with bizarre facial features or bizarre features on their body. Notably, most of them are blind or going blind in some capacity. Most of them are blind or going blind in some capacity. This has led to an increase. This has led to a near supernatural ability to use their other senses to navigate. So they're monstrous. Is difficult to hide, but are amusingly the most accepted among the Union, as even the Tsarists. Communist vampires. They're super cool. People are pinging me. Is this a good stream? No, none of these are good streams. Hello, Archer. It's a quiet stream, as usual. I don't know what you expect. If you want to ask fun, exciting questions, feel free to, but I need to just... We're just hammering out character creation. We gotta do car stuff today, and we gotta do check stuff today. Welcome to the wonderful world of game design. We're hitting that point where there's nothing fun to talk about. It's just like I need to write in a bunch of stuff, and if I don't write in the bunch of stuff, things get a little bit wonky. So just like that. Hello, Ethical. This is what I like to call the grind set, the grind moment of game design. Gonna pop open my little coffee I bought. If you have any fun and exciting questions to ask the Note Man Randy Savage, or AP Blaine, or other variation pen names that I'm going to be adopting, feel free to. I'll answer any question you have. Any question at all. They see the bread but not the grind. Exactly. That's what it really boils down to. See them as imperfect. All vampires belong to a lineage. Gray capacity. So that. Except with sight. Let's see. The drifter gains favor on any sense judgment except with sight, in which they will take a malice. They are difficult. They are easy to recognize if their face is seen. So there we go. Fun fact, everybody, my absolute favorite clan in good old Vampire the Masquerade is our Nosferatu, because I really like the Nosferatu, because I always think they're cool. And the millisecond I learned about Shreknet, I'm like, it's over. It's Jover, kids. He's literally me. Finally, I can be the ugly bastard I always knew I could be. Technically, if I want, I could do something like this. If I do something like this, I can slap a quick image right there to kind of break up some of the stuff here. I've been using Stable Diffusion for a few things. It works pretty well. I've been liking it. Let's learn about gargoyles. AP Blaine is a pretty good name. Since you made a wrestling reference, how would you make a wrestling RPG? It depends on what kind of wrestling you would want to do. Is this going to be like actual wrestling? Or like, hello everyone, I'm Triple H. Let's fuck someone's day up a little bit. There's a few wrestling RPGs out there. I know what you're talking. I know what when you're talking about. It's a PBTA game, if I recall correctly. One of the very few PBTA games that actually work, for what it's trying to do. So, gargoyles appear as normal vampire. Let's see, gargoyles appear as normal vampire, but can shift their body through, but can shift their body to reveal large leathery wings. Wings to take flight with. Gargoyles tend to gargoyle. How do I want to fucking word this? Transformation. The transformation takes an instant for even young vampires, allowing them to rapidly change and fly across the sky with relative ease. However, this may seem to make them powerful forces. A powerful force. Make them a powerful force in the world. However, the mighty rifle cares little. The mighty rifle cares little for the beauty of light. The beauty of light. Their transformations take a toll on their body later in life. They're often dying young as their muscles give out. Their muscles give out mid-flight. Or they are permanently stuck. In their transformed state. Gargoyles. The winged pendulum, dazzling displays of speed and speed and flight. Dealing how their body desires transformation. They do not. Most clothing must be custom made. Must be custom made for them. This doesn't seem a big thing. It's when we get to a little bit later, when I have to talk about like common fears and stressing things like that, then I'm going to be talking about stuff like this for the gargoyles, which is like, as a gargoyle, you're getting stressed out if you're not wearing the right clothing. Oh, it's not that one? Monster of the Week, looking for a system group after Classroom Deathmatch. Classroom, Monster of the Week is probably one of the older PBTA games out there. Does your system, do your players like, things like Buffy the Vampire Slayer? Like, if you like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, you like those kind of games, then yeah, I believe there is a protagonist playbook, but it kind of makes sense if you're okay with that. I've never really gone over too deeply a Monster of the Week, but I've never heard a bad thing about Monster of the Week. Let's just say that I've never heard a bad thing about it. It is PBTA, so take that as you will. But if your players are really invested in that kind of thing, you might like it. Yeah, Ethical, if you find what you're talking about, feel free to post it. I'll see what I can find about it. We only had one meeting. Yeah, it happens. But yeah, no, kind of ask, see what people are interested in. You kind of gotta buy. You have to kind of buy into the thing pretty early. Permanently stuck in the transformed state. We're going to do that's 1, 2. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. What would be a what would be a good line for like just fucking weird vampire? What do I want to talk? I had a good name for this and I can't remember what it is. Yeah, they're not like it's. Call of Cthulhu looks big. It's not a complicated game. That's like one thing with Call of Cthulhu. It's not very complicated. There's just a lot of stuff. They seem to be more gamer than role players. Yeah, for problem solving. Yeah, there's I wonder. I mean, there has to be some good. Yeah, I mean, I would say pitch it to them. They might. Again, it is powered by the apocalypse. It's a lot more story focused, quote unquote, and they might gel with it. They might not. That's kind of a big thing there. I wouldn't say maybe don't buy the book. You know what I mean? If you're putting down what if you're hearing what I'm putting down, I don't know what to call magic vampires. What do we call magic vampires? Pretty much what we actually know. We're called the
Calúnia.
say Denmark. Vedma. Vedma. The Vedma. The Vedma. The Vedma. The Vedma Vedmak lineage is a dual natured group of mystical vampires that somewhere in their history consumed or at least exposed to paranatural elements. This has fundamentally altered their view of the world as well as their perceptions. Women the Vedma. Tend to be far thinner than the average vampire, but have a tend to be far thinner than the average vampire, but have a natural sixth sense. When detecting paranatural phenomenon, or anyone possessing an artifact, a coalescence, possessing coalescence. The men Vedmak are completely completely insane by every metric. Most are wandering lunatics. Most are wandering lunatics who either die quickly. Most are wandering lunatics who either die quickly or become feral, if they do manage to become which they are especially adept at managing. They're especially adept at managing stalkers. Stalkers do not trust either. Stalkers do not trust either. Especially at the rate. To the Union, they are both shoot on sight. They are both shoot on sight. Coalescence or paranatural element or paranatural phenomenon. Easy enough to understand. Writing on Russian mythology. Not quite. This is a Russian inspired vampire road trip role-playing game. Yeah, are you just making Malkavians? Kind of like a combination, like the Vedmak are pretty much a combination of Malkavian and Tremere. They're supposed to be a little bit weirder, a little bit more mystical. I do mean when I get to the kind of the vampire thing, when it comes to like why we have such an overemphasis on female vampires, and the main reason is everything passes through them bloodline wise. They don't pass through men. Why is that the case? Because in the show, they just don't have any men who are royal. They just don't. So I'm like, okay, we're gonna roll with that idea, so why not just make that the entire thing? Why do I keep thinking of Vampire Velma when I see Vedma? The Y chromosome makes you immune to vampirism. Not that quite extreme. There are male vampires, quite a few. The big thing there is their bloodline doesn't pass through them. So effectively, if you want a royal vampire child, vampire in the garden, yes. If you want a royal vampire child, as a man, you have to boink a royal vampire. If you are a woman, though, it's regardless of what other kind of vampire you will always end up with a royal vampire. Ta-da! Next, finally, actually, speaking about them, royal vampires. Royal vampires have silver hair. Have silver hair and silver eye. Silver eyes. They are often some of the strongest, most devious, and dangerous vampires in the Ashlands. Only a small amount. Vampires are able to become royal. Actually, only a small amount of royals. Only a small amount of royals are present. Mostly due to the 99.5% fatality rate when biting humans. Only natural reproduction is possible among with bloodlines being passed down through the female line. Most royals tend to the royal blood tends to be quite small in some cases. Tends to have a small pool to draw from. Do not to the union, they are all shoot on sight. They're all shoot on sight. One may be the czar. Yep, the union does legitimately view just about any vampire as just like, yeah, you're probably going to get us killed. Let's see. A royal, so we're going to do royale with cheese. That's what they call them in France. Let's see. Yeah, welcome to being the Royals' main advantage. You probably know everybody. You probably know all the other Royals. There we go. We add an image right there. Cool. You have to choose one of them. So that brings us to, that would end off there. You immediately select an anchor. We talk about stability and scars. This took me like forever to get because her boobs kept trying to escape. I don't know how. The issue with Vampire in the Garden, I've talked about this before, is that it's in this horrifically awkward state of both being way, way, way too rushed, but also way, way, way too long. It's in this like horrifying middle part where they put down a lot of really cool ideas, but they don't deliver on any of the ideas they have. Instead of being like, here's like one idea, it's we're doing everything at once. If it was like an hour and a half long movie, I think it would be a lot better than 5 episodes where they try to talk about a lot of stuff at once. Yeah, no, it's I'm fascinated by the show. Like the more I work on this, the more I get gradually more fascinated by it. Like I have to learn, I want to learn more about it, but then I quickly realize you just don't, because there just isn't, it's not there. Okay, so let's see, we've got all our blood. Okay, let's talk about the car. On the road again. Honestly, hey man, it's my theory is twofold. Either one, they had like this big other thing planned and they just had to like, oh, like they had 10 episodes at one point, but then they got told like halfway through you have 5 episodes, so they just cut everything as quickly as they could. Like, here's Notepad trying to rewrite the entirety of Vampire in the Garden. The big thing is you can keep the same idea. You can keep the idea. It's fine. It's like cut the mom aspect, cut the mom storyline. Just make it about the uncle. Uncle's a cool hard ass dude, but he's also fucked up. Oh no, there's problems there. And you're not my real dad. You're not my real parent. I don't love you anymore. You know, run away. You know how it goes. Oh no, my friend is dead. Oh fuck. We establish early on. Again, first episode's great. You get so much information in the first episode. That's all you fucking need. End of the first bit. End of, Act 1. We've established these two have gotten together. We're on the quest. Act 2. We quickly, we immediately get the idea that these two are together. We are heading toward the dacha. That's the big thing. We're going to the dacha. We're not going to this mythical, it's not necessarily the mythical land of jelly beans or whatever. We're going there, and that's where the second act takes place, is in the dacha. We're there, we're learning, we're doing what we can, and second act is all about traveling around these two, learning to love one another and like one another, and we get a little bit of story on Fine, we get a little bit on Momo. That's all we need. Act 3. Big final fight at the dacha. That's all we need. That's all you would need. How much would it cost you to make a Tinaman Asagi game? Oh god, the Tinaman game. Fun fact, I know how to make a Tinaman game. That's the worst part. I would need a very small amount of money because I know exactly how I would make the Tinaman game. That's very easy, in fact. That's the very cursed reality. Is I know exactly what to do because there already is a game that does Tinaman Asagi. That's the worst part. I would just need to write in some other things to pull everything together. That's all it would have to be, and add in like Mystic Ninja art bullshit. Because I would just use Crisis Heroine. Because more accurately, I would use the Crisis system. I would pull everything together using that, and it would be done, and it would work phenomenally. Honestly, if you just want to play a Tinaman TRPG, just play Crisis Heroine and all the disastrous nightmares that exists. The Tinaman Asagi RPG is real! Damn straight it's real. To the One Piece. The cock piece. Okay. The car. Throughout this journey, this journey will not be undertaken on, taken on foot. The drifters, the Ashlands is barely hospitable, is awash with dangers, threats, and nightmares abound. Forcing most long distance travelers to use a vehicle of their choice. The car is salvation. It may not survive the journey to completion, but through its it will start as the drifter's main method of travel. Each car, the drifters will encounter. Each car the drifters will encounter will have. Actually, what am I doing? I've already written vehicle rules. You silly Billy. Silly Billy notepad. You've already... Oh, God, what have you done? Mashallah, what have you done, Google? You've already written. Not the road wall. Oh, God. Cookie mechanic, where's the vehicle system? I gotta have my vehicle system, cause I fucking don't remember. Cause I already wrote something like this, and I don't gotta think about it anymore. But it's not fucking here. God damn it. Oh, Jesus, what have you done? Oh, Lord save me. What in the goddamn is this shit? What in the hell is going on? What is, oh, God almighty. Why have you done this, Google Drive? No. I don't want this to be this way. No. We're not gonna panic. We're not gonna worry. We're just gonna die a little on the inside because it's... Oh, Lord help me. Lord give me strength. We'll use Hearts of Valkyria. I'm pretty sure I have my vehicle rules. Vehicle rules. Where's my vehicle? There we go. Hell yeah. Oh. The car of salvation. It may not be the journey to completion, but it'll start the drifter's main. But it will. Each car's drifter will encounter will have. We'll have four attributes. We'll have 4 attributes. 4 characteristics. 4 characteristics similar to the drifter. Similar to the drifters. To a drifter. I may not survive the journey to completion, but as of right now, it's the best the drifters have. Each car has 4 characteristics which are judged similarly to a drifter. Go da 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 da. Travel. Vision to me not. Go. So up. Okay, so main thing we need to worry about is going to be handling. Obviously, we're going to do handling, which is pretty much how we can drive the car. We're going to have, I guess we could have body. No, not body. We can do not hull. What would be frame? Handling frame. The hell, power, all that power. Handling, frame, power, and oh god, no, it's what do they fucking do? God fucking silhouette. I know that would be frame would be silhouette. No, actually, I guess. Let's see. The car's handling when being driven. The more precise, the better. The more precise. Crash to a mud pile. Cars overall. The cars overall. Actually, overall body size and armor. Body size and armor, allowing for more gear, allowing for more gear and equipment. No, that's not how I. We keep it alive. We have to keep it lots of. We do. Four main attributes: frame speed, capacity, and frame speed, capacity, and handling. Actually. Capacity, frame, handling, capacity, the amount of room, for supplies. Let's see, the amount of room for supplies, people, and the amount of room for supplies, people, and amount of room for supplies, people, and space to be space to designate for different parts later down the road. Frame, the actual size and durability of the car, allowing it to take more punishment, as well as as well as keep the occupant safe from harm. Handling, the ability to control the control the vehicle in difficult conditions and situations. And speed, the amount of how fast and fuel efficient. So changes the speed to power. How fast and fuel efficient the vehicle is. How fast and fuel efficient the vehicle is, allowing the drifters to cover more ground without using as fuel. That the steer speed to break into sabotage, maybe. Okay, so how do I want to do this correctly? There's 4 main attributes: frame, speed, capacity, and handling. When the drifters begin their journey, when the drifters begin their one-way odyssey, they will choose a vehicle of their choice. They will choose a vehicle of their choice to choose a vehicle of their choice. These will the ability each of the attributes reflecting a benefit. Actually, the attributes will be explained in the relevant section. Will be explained in the relevant section. A little bit of a cop-out, however, good reason for it. We're going to do a table, 1 for the heading, 2 for the name, 3 for the results, and we need to do 1, 2, 3, 4. We do something like this. We merge, and then we do capacity, frame, handling, power. 2, 3. We're gonna have 3 starting cars effectively. Dirt Master. So we're going to try to distribute not many points around. So we're going to do Dirt Master's all about going. Dirt Master's got pretty good that. We're going to do long haul. We that Dirt Master, we make 3. We do power. Long haul, the Dirt Master, long haul. So actually we do that. The Ash Demon's going to be that. We want frame is going to be the absolute lowest on the Ash Demon. Long haul is going to have the best frame. It's going to have the best frame, and Dirt Master is going to be the average of all of them. Capacity is going to be, we're going to say, if we do 15, that means you can carry 15 units of just about, well, actually, no, we'll even say you can carry 10 units of just about anything. And if we make it so that you can carry about, let's say 25, let's say even like 30 units of everything, actually, you would be, yeah, we'll say 30 units of everything. That means you would be able to carry 20 units. And handling, which is going to be just the raw bonus. The Ash Demon's going to be really bad at handling. Long haul, you get no benefit, and Dirt Master, you get. Okay. Choose a vehicle. Yeah, it is just. They will choose a vehicle. They will choose a vehicle. They will choose a vehicle. They will choose. They will choose. Actually, they'll choose their starting. They'll choose their starting vehicle. They'll choose their starting vehicle here. Each of the attributes will be explained in the relevant section. For the sake of completion, how I'm going to explain this for myself a little bit, I'm going to actually make notes for myself here. Capacity is the number of units the vehicle can store. The number of units the vehicle can store reasonably. Reasonably. And now, mind you, a unit is just anything, really. So that's a unit of food stuff, and, you know, a unit of fuel, a unit of this, unit of this. It's kind of the abstracted amount of just amount of space you have in your car. You can carry about 20 things in your car, effectively, if you have a Dirt Master. Not necessarily everything, but, like, resource-wise, it's like, yeah. You may be wondering, well, that's kind of silly that I can carry, you know, food stuff doesn't count as much as... oh, why is blood 1 unit, but food stuff is only 1 unit? Why does that work? That doesn't make any sense, Notepad. Because you're trying to store things obviously away from one another. You don't want your, you don't want your gasoline next to your food. Like, that's kind of the idea. It's just like, there just isn't enough room around the car in general to fit everything. So it's like, 1 unit of gasoline isn't necessarily like taking up a shit ton of room. It's 1 unit of gasoline is taking up kind of its own little corner that you're trying to like kind of put away from everything else. So the number of units the vehicle can store reasonably, food resources, people, etc. Overall durability of the overall durability of the car. Maybe we have to bump frame up a little bit. That wouldn't be a terrible idea. Overall durability of the car. Maybe we bump durability up to be handling number of dice, the yeah, number of tiles moved per interval and unit of gas. The long haul's got the most amount of shit in it. That's the thing. I might even bump up the capacity and frame and things like that. Like, this is just the... Actually, if we want to do this right, maybe we do something like, maybe we do... reading Minarchy. Why would you ever do that to yourself? I do need to do the Minarchy case one day. One day I will do the Minarchy case. Simply the problem with the Minarchy case, I'll give you a secret with the my issue with the Minarchy case, is I would be making such a dramatic risk having to deal with our TG strongest son. I would be making a literal risk, not necessarily like I'm risking my life for this. No, just risking like my sanity, because he would be the kind of person to go completely insane if I said anything naughty about his game. If I said anything that he did not appreciate, it would be, I would never hear the end of it from him. Like, it would be insufferable. But he is also TG's strongest son, so I mean, that might have its own benefits. So we slap an image right there. So if I want to keep things, honestly, if I want to keep things, maybe we do something like that. We slap an image on the left, you know. Yeah, the Ash Demon, the big thing with the Ash Demon is that it's going to get you, it's going to more rapidly get you across the Ashlands, but you can't really upgrade it. It's going to be the fastest car available, though. And you might just need to haul ass. You might need to get the fuck out of Dodge, and maybe that's what you want to do. You got a little, it's all about speed with the Ash Demon. It's not necessarily about anything else. These aren't set in stone necessarily. I'm assuming most people would go with the Dirt Master, but it kind of depends on the situation. I might even give these different names to kind of like give them a little bit more like, oh, well, it's time for some mystery and some nuance. But okay, we've gotten that, so that means we go up to our. Okay, now we actually have to do Alexia Natalia. Hello. Hello, favored son. Oh, goodness. Okay. Let's do Alexia and Natalia. In one of the on one of the many demilitarized zones in the Ashland, on one of the many demilitarized zones of the Ashlands, 2 patrols. Pick a vehicle of your choice. On one of the many demilitarized zones in the Ashlands, two soldiers of different banners met under a starlit night. One was a Union trooper, cigarette rolled, appreciating the beauty of the night. The other a Tsarist scout. A few tense moments gave way to moments of calm, and after weeks of on and off On and off conversation, conversation and visitation. And visitation, the two found mutual love with one another. Both understood that neither's army would accept their strange romance. Both understood that neither's army would accept their strange romance, and under the in the dusk and on. Wait, no, Pad, they aren't just really good friends. No. This is Alexi and this is Alexi and Natalia. This isn't Momo and Fina. I kind of want to do something similar to be like, you don't have to play, Momo and Fina. Like, you can actually play other characters. Both of those sure that neither's army would accept their strange romance, and soon, at as dusk fell, both loaded what little belongings they had, and departed toward the near mythical city of Estograd. Let's do of Estograd. Alexei Arkov. Technically, if I want to make this nice, it would be Alexei. Alexei Markov and Natalia. Give me some good surnames. Komarova. And Natalia Komarova. Or more formally, Natalia Makarov, or more formally, Natalia Makarov, are two wayward deserters on a one-way trip to a city which may or may not exist. Come on, don't you all want your vampire GF? Which may or may not exist. So if we scroll all the way up, we're gonna start. Okay, so we're gonna do Why We Wander. So first things first, we'll do Natalia, and then we'll do Alexei. Natalia, we're going to do the main thing why we're wandering. Yes, we're going to do anchor. Actually, do anchors. Anchors. We're going to do this. We just put this in correctly in different places, just so we understand. Anchors. Wayward lovers. Who are you? We're going to be Mm-hmm. Lexi Gaix, and the romantic soul. Da-da-da, characteristics. So we're gonna do our characteristics. Avos, body, empathy, reason, sense. Da-da-da-da, Lexi, da-da-da-da. So we're going to have 13 characteristic point. Natalia, what is Natalia? Natalia is going to be a smart person. 3, 3, 6. 9, 10, 11. There we go. We'll need to do something like this. So that would be 3, 6. 3, 6. 8, 11. So 4. So she's pretty average across the board. Lexi, on the other hand, we're going to make a Lexi. He's going to be 7, 8, 9, 10. So he's got 7, 10, 11, 12. Lexi's dumb as a fucking brick because I find that amusing. Choo-choo. Which brings us to our skills. And our skills, we have a total of... maximum distributes 30 skill points among their skills. So let's do Natalia. What's Natalia's skills looking like? Natalia is going to be academics. She's going to have a 5 in there. She's going to have acrobatics. She's going to have 4, so we are at 9. She's going to have combat 3, 9, that puts us at 12. Cunning 3, so that puts us at 15. Intuition, she's going to have 4, that's 19. Injure, we're going to do 4, that's put us at 23. Stealth, she's going to have a fucking 5 in. So that's going to be... forgot. What was that? So 9, 12, 15, 19, 23, 28, 30. But we're going to do something like this. So this is Natalia's skills. However, Alexi, our boy Alexi, he's going to have banter of 4. He's going to have charm of 4, so he's pretty good at that. He's going to have combat at 5. 9, let's see, it's 8 plus, I'm trying to do the math in my head, 13. Endurance, he's going to have, let's say, 5 endurance. 13, he's at 18. Guts, he's going to have 3 guts, that's put him at 21. Medicine, he's going to have 2 medicine, that's at 23. Scavenger 3, tinkering 3, world 3. So that's 8. That's 8, 13, 18, 21, 23, 25, 28, 31. So yeah, this should be, well, easy enough to understand. Alexi is human. Natalia is a gargoyle vampire. As that, he gets 2 skill points. He's going to put that in scavenger, tinkering. Vampire, she gets 2 characteristic points, though, so she's going to put one in her body, and she's going to put one in her sense. And she is a gargoyle. Put a note down here. She's a gargoyle. Sorry if I'm not responding to anything right now. I'm kind of just focused. Next we're going to need to determine, we will just do the fast and simple method. So we need to have Alexi, my husband. Tradition and honor. What would be another good one for the vampires? Brave New World, so she gets 18. She's going to say she's on that. There's a lot about her husband. 7, 12, 12. That's 15, 18. And she is going to obviously have Brave New World. This is going to be her blood bond currently. Fucking obsessed with that. Talia, my wife. Be a man, and what'll be another good one for him? Natural Dreamer, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 2, 1. As you can kind of tell, he is obsessed with being this very romantic individual. So if we double check this, his stability is 25 out of 25, scars 0, 25 stability, and Alia has 20 stability. She's a fucking vampire. Here we go. Able to Alexi, we that. Do. With this. All right. Let's see, pick a vehicle of choice. Wait, no, Pat, aren't you just really good friends? Only me. Weird having 0 comments rather than an actual count of comments in a video. I've been seeing that quite a bit as well. How do you make it so the cover image doesn't show up? Wait, how do you make it so the cover image doesn't show up on mobile? I don't know how, like, 95% of Twitch works. Like, itch.io. Like, there's magic to itch.io to making some things. You kind of see here, like none of these like look good, by the way, but there's a lot of things you can actually do to make it look a lot nicer in some capacities. Like, I learned how to make this line here. I was very proud of myself when I made the line. I'm like, hell yeah, I'm fucking ballin'. But yeah, like, there's a bunch of shit you can do with, like, HTML. I do know that for a fact. Let's, GTRPGs for trans rights in Florida. Be a Filipino game. Oh boy. Hey, everybody. Hey, I love itch.io. I love itch.io. It's truly, truly the best. Can I fit everything in here? Oh, I can't. Okay, so yeah. What I will most likely do if we do stop. I want to make things a little bit easier on myself. What I will do that, and I will actually add I'll add 2 images here, one from Natalia and one for Alexi, with the idea being that like these are how these two, like, this is how like characters are supposed to kind of look like. Like, they are, to give you an idea, it's not complicated to make character. So, for example, if Alexi's like, okay, I'm here, Alexi needs to make a medicine empathy check. Oh no, he's the only guy with medicine. He's gonna take 3 dice for his empathy, and he's gonna take 2 dice for his medicine. He's gonna take these all together, he's gonna roll, and he rolled a 10. He's pretty good, like, he's decent at it. The thing is, if you don't have a skill in something, that doesn't mean you can't attempt it. It means you're just relying on it just means you're relying on your skills. If he needs to make a reason check for literally anything, he's going to be rolling with 1 additional die. On the other hand, Natalia is far, far more, let's just say, detailed in how she does things. And because of that, she's actually very competent. So that's, let's see, 9, 13, 15. Got all our stats right. 12, actually 7, 10, 12, 7, 10. Right. But even as you can kind of see by their anchors, both of them will have the wayward lovers thing. Both of them will have who they are. Both of them will have a bond with one another, and then it's tradition and honor and natural dreamer and things like Brave New World. It's both of them have to deal with that fact. Both of them are dealing with the realities of, hey, this is who I am. Oh. Oh yeah, that game, yeah. Cover is nice. It does show up. When I'm open, it's all fucked up. What? How can I fix HTML? I don't know. Also, watching games with AI art. After watching a game that's pasted a bunch of shitty AI art, clearly I learned that you truly need to have some sense of graphic design. Yeah, it's a constantly hideous, the same style of hideousness. Like a bunch of cups of water and picking the one that is stagnant. But yeah, no, I've been trying to like kind of, I usually like to try to keep things relatively consistent with this. I've been actually using the same model for everything, kind of looking relatively similar with one another. I do plan on keeping things monochrome. Like, I'm probably going to drop this one. Drop these two and just regenerate them. This turned out a little bit weirder than I had originally planned on it looking. But it also kind of has a weird look to it. This is just a still from the show. Fun fact, I have no idea where the fuck they are in this image. I have genuinely no idea. Because unless that's supposed to be like central, but we don't really get that much of central. That's not a place in the show. Fun fact. This like cityscape here, that's not a place in the show really. Unless it's what model of Animu is this? It's the Abyss Orange. Abyss Orange. I've been playing around with it a little bit, seeing what I can do with it. It does have a tendency of generating things look pretty consistent, but you also end up with things like this, which look pretty decent. And we also have a big man. If you go to the Notepad Museum of Fine Art, you get to see a big man that was found the other day. I have no idea how a gigantic man in the distance was created. I have genuinely no clue of how that came to be, but it does. There's a special VAE you can load in to make it work a little bit better, but I'm not using that one because VAEs are the work of Satan and don't work half the time for me. Okay, so we've done the example. We're gonna do the road to judgment. We're gonna do that next. He was very big. Well, that's like one of those weird things. Like I don't know if the story was changed or not. That's the thing. I don't know what the cycle was, like the 1 to 2 to 3 on it. Like part of me is thinking like they were gonna stay in Central a lot longer, maybe, because I think that's supposed to be like the big city in which the she's from, Momo is from. Like, oh, this is the communist hellhole utopia. Communist hellhole utopia. Yeah, that sounds about right. Fucking, I can't escape pathologic, by the way. Oh, caffeine. You remember I watched? I think one of the earliest renditions was like a high school anime set in the Pacific. Yeah, I could see that. You gonna review? Have I gone over caffeine's thing? Yeah. It was rough. They probably were indecisive fucks till the end. Yeah, it's... I have this, again, I think at one point it was going to be a longer show. I think that's one of the big things. Like, I think it was going to be a much longer show. Because they brought in, it was the uncle, Corporal, you'll understand. They brought in the uncle, who, I don't think he has a name, but he's such an important figure, and he feels like he should be a lot more important to the show. And he is important, but they just dump all his lore at us in like the last minute. It's like, oh. And it's like, oh, it's like, let's spend some time on the super cool city, but we gotta rush ahead now. Ha ha ha. Hee hee hee. Hoo hoo. Ha ha. It's like, what? Kubo. Kubo was his name. Yeah, I honestly didn't even register his name for like most of the show. I was like, man, this guy's really cool. Why, where is he? It's like, should he be? Because they even make a. I'm not sure it's actually said outside the credits. Like, it's one of those things, like, because, like, oh, hey, you know, you've dealt with vampires before. Yeah, I have. And they dump all this shit up. Because, like, if it was like, yeah, hey, Momo, this is your guardian, your emotionally distant, badass uncle who now wants to save you because he's got to make it up to his sister who he failed or something. Cool. All right, there we go. We got a nice little 1, 2, 3. But, like, they just drop that part. Or like how the fact that they've mobilized, like they've actually like mobilized a military task force to save Momo. And it's like, oh, well, no one will find the it's like, oh, we need to like find my daughter, but I'm also in Central, but I'm not in Central. I mean, any character that is willing to get into melee range. And the thing is, it's like he's a cool character. That's the worst part. Because he's clear, like, there's clearly, like, yeah, I know how you vampires work. Yeah, it's just like, that's why I think, like, it was both a longer show and a shorter show at one point. Because you could do, like, an episode just about him being like, why is he obsessed with hunting vampires, and why does he think this is kind of weird? Let's do his backstory. Because I honestly thought at one point they were just going to do Fine's backstory. Like, they were just going to do an episode for her. I'm like, they can't do that. They don't have enough screen time. So they just kept putting parts of it in the middle of other episodes. It's like, I understand you. Vampire in the Garden, I get what you're putting down. Please, God, make up your mind. Because he's got, like, this special squad with him the entire time. And, like, I don't think any of them have a name. It's like, these guys are clearly badass. What the fuck? Or it's like, oh no, there's drama in the capital. And they're named in the credits. That's the weird thing. They're like, oh, they're named in the credits. It's like, that doesn't count. That never counts. It's how you learn all the monsters in one, like, it was like one game where they give all the monsters a special name. Or it's how you learn that all the characters in, like, fucking Final Fight or whatever, how they have detailed backstories individually. It's like, wow, cool, this is useless. Wow. I'm amazed. Okay, so let's do the primary method of resolving resolving conflicts or doubt is a drifter making a judgment. Taking their attribute and taking their characteristic and skill, and taking their characteristic and skill, rolling that many d10s, and scoring successes equal to the target number. The basic framework to this framework. Actually, we want to do the road to judgment, or do you want to do the long way? Which we're going to do actually, when a drifters may if they are not in danger. Let's see, drifters may, if they are not in danger, take half of their die and turn them all turn them on successes. This is referred to as beyond reason. This is referred to as the this reflects the turn them all into successes. The downside to doing this is that this will take far longer to accomplish the same goal rather than just a small increment. This is a small increment of small time. Each increment yeah, so we're just doing like, here's some like exterior bits with judgments and be a little bit weird. Now it's like, now that you understand what characters can kind of do, what they kind of understand, let's explain some of the little details here, such as, hey, you can take half, for example. Each of these increments, if the drifter wishes, take half. I don't know. What am I doing? What am I trying to do? No, I don't. I don't need this. What am I talking about? I don't need that. Oh, they may add another die. They may add another die to the drifters offering assistance to one of their allies. They can still contribute. Just a little, even if just a little. The primary actor will still be the one rolling, and any assistant will contribute half of their skill dice, or skill die, rounding down to the judgment. Assistant will contribute half of their skill die, rounding down to the judgment. Should a terrible failure or other disaster occur, all participating drifters will suffer the consequences. And then we do extended and then we do why am I doing this now? Because I really fucking forgot about most of them, to be honest, and I've been meaning to do this a little bit more consistently. Extend that. Hell. Minutes, hours, increments, quarter days. How would you fuck, how do you refer to pretty much like quarter days? Because I plan on splitting up days into 4 quadrants, which is like it's noon, dusk, midnight, dawn. Those are the four time period. Actually, minutes, hours, quarters, day. Each increment of time will have the drift roll. They reach their goal, they will have succeeded at the aim. They will have succeeded at the judgment. If they fail a started. I feel like I'm missing something. What do I getting? I'm psyching myself out here. I'm psyching myself out. What am I missing? Okay, what do we need to go over? Let's just take a sec. Oh god, oh Jesus. Okay, let's just take a second. What am I missing? I need to talk about the fears. I need to talk about the stressors, but then maybe we cut the road to judgment because we don't really need to talk about it, but I have no idea why I keeps thinking that I really, really want this to be. We cut that and immediately go to long way to nowhere. Long way to nowhere. That doesn't sound right. Because I need to talk about... Where do I put fucking... Unless we do... No, that wouldn't work. Because pretty much what I need to do is I need to put the idea of pretty much common fears and problems. Where do you put the fact that vampires do not like the sun? And if they are in the sun, they are taking they're taking stability damage. Like so they don't really want to be in the sun at all. Like, where do you put that? I guess we do a long way to nowhere. I guess we do something like this. Actually, no. We do something like... It's one of those things where it's just like everything flowing together is very awkward. So I'm trying to figure out like how to... This is one of those games where it's like the actual game isn't complicated. It's figuring out where to put everything and like how to set everything up. So, and that's kind of throwing me for a fucking loop. Because originally the idea was we were going to have a thing on judgments, but it's like, what do you put for the judgment ones? It's just like kind of should be going to kind of the system explanation section. But now it's like, okay, so if we break down the ideas, like this is the actual hex crawl aspect. Okay, let's talk about the actual hex crawl aspect. Long way to nowhere. After the drifters are heading toward a lofty goal far away from where they currently are. Lofty goal far away from where they currently are. This goal may be defined or be a mythical place which has debatable authenticity. Authenticity. The journey is, let's see, the journey is broken up into separate legs. Into separate legs. Each one being on a new hex map. Being on a new map with new problem face. Each of the maps will be a hex grid. The maps will be a hex grid. A hex grid divided into separate 50 kilometer hexes, into different kilometer tiles. Each one containing their very own. Each one and divided into separate 50 kilometer tiles. Yes, 50 kilometer tiles. Pretty big. But you also are going to be moving pretty good on these things. Divided into separate 50 kilometer tiles. Because remember, you always have the car. Each one being a new map with new problems to face. Each map will maps will be hex grid divided into separate 50 kilometer tiles. The drifters will move through the map trying to find resources, supplies, and keep ahead of their pursuers. Main goal of each map is to always reach the waypoint. That is the way forward. I wonder if is that a single word? I can do way forward technologies. So we're not using that term. I'm being pinged. Who? Let's see. Keep ahead of their pursuit. Main goal of each map is always reach the. What would be a good? What's a good name? It's pretty much the idea. The goal of every single one of these maps is to like hit a location to, like, okay, you've entered here. You are making the journey to the next location. Making it. You've clearly kind of crossed this area. You're going to be entering a new area here soon. You're not being fully there. It's like you've successfully kind of hit a location. Now it's kind of easy going until for a while at least, until you hit the next location, until you hit the next major leg of the journey. I guess way forward, waypoints. I don't want to just use exit because that's a little bit game. Even though that would be a good one. Travel point. Main goal of each map is always to reach the. It will rarely be simple. Each leg triple up plentiful amounts of dangers and supply issues. All the way down here. So what we need to do is we're going to break this down. So a long way to nowhere. First things first, we are going to be talking about getting pinged again. We're going to be doing wow. Okay, so if we do, actually, no, we do, let's explain the map. So we're going to do, the map, the man, and the map and the trek, which we're going to be doing. I'm just going to give a brief explanation for myself. Explaining. Going to do, How to make and set locations on the map. How to make and set locations on the map, allowing the players Let's talk about anchor points for the narrator. Pretty much like every location, I don't really want the maps to be complicated. That's not the point. You're entering a new location, you really don't know what the fuck's on this map. All you really know is where a few locations may be. And the GM, as the narrator, you have this, you have kind of what you're thinking of, and you can pencil in yourself on your little notepad or something. You can pencil in at these hexes, there's a big bandit base. The main thing on this leg of the journey is that there's a shit ton of bandits in this area. There are, and you kind of circle on your own little map. You kind of like, okay, all these areas are really bandit controlled. It's over here. If the players put down and say like, hey, you made a worldly check. Let's say, for example, I've scored 3 successes. I scored 4 successes. Actually, no, I've scored 3 successes on my worldly check. I did really well. You say, okay, 3 successes. Where do you want to put that? There's a city here. Where do you want to put it? And I'm going to tell you right now, you can put it anywhere in this area. You kind of put it like, circle a little bit in your safe zone. They, like, oh, okay, what's going on? And they could start asking you questions about the place, which is important. Which is something for you to introduce them, as well as give them kind of a breakdown on something that they already know. Hey, what's this city actually like? And throw it back. And that's going to be kind of a note as well, as throw it back at them. Okay, what do you know about this city? What do you think this city is like? Well, this area is kind of like this, blah, 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 da, da, da. And even if you don't, like, you kind of know because you went down this track. If you go down this way, it's the fastest way to this way forward. It's just incredibly dangerous and you will die. So it's like, okay. See, it's a little bit of working together. Mostly, the goal here is to make sure that the map, the actual hex crawling aspect, isn't actually dangerous. It's not complicated. That's not the point. The point is not to be complicated. The point, this is the big thing, the point of this is to be as nice and simple as possible, as well as use the players to tell you everything you need to know. We're gonna make the players do their problem. Crossroads, that's a good one. Yeah, actually, fuck it, I'll use let's go away. We're using reach the crossroads. It's a better name. Oh god. Yeah, it was like, we're gonna use, like, again, it's one of those things like abuse the shit out of players. We're like, use them to make all the shit up. You don't give a fuck. The big thing for you, what I want to get across is you're going to establish kind of like the base terrain of the area, and every hex that doesn't have something special in it is going to be the base terrain. You damn well know that everything above this area is awful nightmare nuclear swamp sadness. Cool. Awful nuclear swamp sadness is everything up north. All of these tiles, that's what it is. And the players might be like, I wonder what's over here. Nuclear sadness swamp wasteland. But on the south is kind of like this barren, ashy, kind of the traditional Ashlands experience. Doesn't fucking matter what it is, it's just going to be one of 2 tile types. It's either going to be, hey, this is a barren place, or this is a verdant place. If it's a verdant place, there's going to be a lot of things, and if they start spending time scavenging around, they'll find shit. Problem is, they have to scavenge shit. It's going to take time. So, we've got that. Easy enough to understand, which is going to do across the ash, which we're going to do. Mm. Mm. Uh. Mm. So the Across the Ash is going to be mostly for the players, because the basic idea of how I want travel to go is during the day, there's going to be broken down into 4 quadrants of the day. There's going to be midday, kind of noon, midday. There's going to be dusk. There's going to be midnight. And there's going to be dawn. Vampires must sleep during midday. Humans must sleep during midnight. Pretty much you have to rest once of these quadrants. You have to rest. And for humans, it's during the night. Vampires, it's during midday. The issue here, the funny issue, is that you now have to make a decision of where you're going. If you get into some trouble midday, the vampire's asleep, and you have to wake them up. That's a problem now. It's like, well, okay, you're the one making call unless you want to wake up the vampire, which is going to be a stress factor, which is going to be something that they can't recover. They're not getting their stability back. You need to make their life hell. Similar goes for the humans. But humans have a lot of problems at night, like they can't see. And you have to make a decision because every one of these quadrants, if you drive, you're using gas. You can go as many tiles as you have, power. You can travel 5 tiles in one of these little quadrants. Yeah, of course you can travel 5 whole tiles. There might not be fucking anything for 5 tiles. But it's like, okay, we're pausing there. We can do an action. We can do something. Hey, we've stopped at this tile. We've driven the full way. Let's sit down and you might not want to do anything. It's like, okay, let's go hunting. Let's scavenge around. And so it's like these quadrants are being used for both driving, for sleeping, for resting, for recuperating. This is your time. The big thing, though, is which we have to explain somewhere. I don't know where the fuck to put that, even. Which means I might have to move the looming dread up, maybe? I don't know. See, you're understanding how everything kind of plays together in its own kind of scary way. Which is the idea that every day that you are just out and about, the track of them getting closer to you builds by 1. It's increasing. Every time you cause a ruckus, it's increasing by 1. Anytime you visit a town, it's increasing by 1. Anytime you deal with people, it's increasing by 1. It's this constant resource that the GM can use as a target on their back. If it's building up, they're getting closer. They're going to find you. They're going to deal with you. And it's like, okay, so you want to lay low, but you can't lay low because you won't have enough resources. You're going to be stuck in the middle of nowhere with no gas and no ability to go anywhere. You're going to die. You will die. So it's kind of this like necessary thing for you to constantly push forward, which is why it's like, okay, we want to, as we're moving across the ash, we're spending some time, we want to hunt us, we want to do some scavenging, we want to relax right now, and then we drive, like right during the middle of the night, we're driving, because we know the vampire will be able to do this pretty reliably. It's things like that. It's like managing your time is a pretty big idea here. Is, you know, in day cycle. Mm. This will be a nightmare. So the Wasteland Survival, it's going to be like you're hunting, you're looking for people, you're resting. It's a bunch of these little things to do stuff in a location. And if you're doing stuff, you're trying to get something. That's another big idea. Or you might just have an encounter. That's an entire thing, and that's kind of a thing that I'm going to have to actually okay. I'm trying not to like avoid doing things. That's not what this is. This is just there's a lot of shit I need to plan out. And because I need to plan everything out, I'm being a little bit more cautious than I normally would. Because there's so many little factors to consider with this fucking game. I mean that in the nicest way possible, by the way, Shepard. I'm meaning that in the nicest way possible. It's just like there's a lot of little things for me to suddenly consider that I normally wouldn't consider. So I'm trying to make sure that everything is planned out nicely. I'm thinking we put the we do the common fears. We put when a fight breaks out. So the when a fight breaks out is going to be the combat section, and then we talk about the looming dread, which is going to be the pursuit mechanic. This is just things that are going to threaten you in some way. And then we do the stuff and things chapter, which is personal stuff, supply stuff, car stuff. Then we don't really need to worry about the looming dread chapter, because then we are just going to be talking about it here. Which do the end of the road, do we make it, advancements, we're going to talk about talent. All right, okay. Good night, Art. What did I miss? You missed me ranting. So you have a clock. Not a clock. Pretty much in one of the games that this was inspired by heavily, called Heirs to Heresy, Fall of the Knights Templar, they have a thing called the pursuit meter, effectively. I don't remember the exact name of it. But the idea is the GM kind of has this anomalous resource called pursuit. And that pursuit is making your life hell. And just about anything you do will build pursuit. They're getting closer to your ass because they want to kill you in that game. And everything you do is going to be them following you, of them getting closer till you inevitably are either home free and you don't have to worry about it anymore, or you get killed, which is they're going to find you and you have to do a last stand. And it's a doomed last stand. The big thing here is I'm going to use the same idea, which is kind of like this constantly building resource that you have to manage. Which, the longer you wait around, the longer you fuck about, this looming dread is going to build up. The more it's going to build, the more resources that the GM has to fuck with you. Because they could wait on it. Here's the thing, the GM can wait on it and have you build it up, and then the people who want to bring you back are going to be on you. it's like it's either you're gonna have to haul ass, you're gonna need to get the hell out of Dodge, you don't have time anymore. It's your journey is being threatened very directly. Or the GM can be, hey, I'm gonna make a gamble for you real fast. And in a location or a situation, they're gonna gamble some of this pursuit on you. The thing is, if you succeed at the task, they're gonna lose their gamble. You know, the pursuit has been thrown off. Something has happened. You've clearly kind of lost they've lost the trail for a minute. Not a lot, but just a few bits. However, if you fail this check, if you fail doing this, what's going to happen is that they're going to get that much. Hey, a scout patrol is asking questions to the locals. And it's like, oh fuck, what do you do? They're asking questions. They're clearly going to report back. What's the plan? So it's like, okay, we need to maybe stop them. Maybe we need to figure out where they think we're going. Maybe we need to just kill them. Maybe we need to do something. How do you solve this crisis? There's a problem. What happens? Hey, you're in a city and you're hanging out and you'll run into somebody who is clearly a union scout, and he's looking for you, and he recognizes you right away, and you recognize him, and it's like, oh no. And how do you stop him? Do you stop him? Do you convince him you're somebody else? There's a bunch of ways to approach a situation like that. If you succeed, it's gone. You've lost their trail. You know, they've lost your trail. If you fail, they're getting more. So it's kind of the looming dread is that thing that is always hanging over you. Something is pursuing you and something wants your ass. And it's going to be that constant fear that you have to kind of manage in the back of your head. So if we put this like here, the pursuit mechanic's going to go after how fighting occurs. But then if we put this here, we can then explain everything of like, hey, you need this, you need this, you need this. I guess we can do Wasteland Survival Guide. Then we can actually do talk about the bare necessities. Talk about the bare necessities, which is eating, sleeping, and sheltering to recover stability and other such problem. If we put the bare necessities here, we establish how traveling works. We understand how to recover various things. We go on like, what do you actually know? We do bare necessities. We put bare necessities here, then that explains why doing the Wasteland Survival Guide is so important. It's pretty much like, what are you actually doing? Why are we doing these things? We talk about this after Across the Ash. We can kind of get a better idea of how the day cycle is going to play out, which is then going to allow us to... Okay. We do... do something like... I have no idea why it's like constantly setting itself to fucking this. It shouldn't, but it just is. I wonder if it's because of this. As that is. Okay. Oh, the looming dread. So this is going to be mostly things to reduce your stability. Guess we'll have to throw in like... You won't need legs of the journey. Actually, no, we're going to talk about legs of the journey because this is going to be mostly like, how many should you be thinking of? Do we make it? Okay. All right. Didn't quite get as much done as I wanted to get done today, but I think we've set everything up for the future. I think that's the most important right now. We've set every single thing up for the future. And this weekend, what I am going to do, this Sunday, because the Sunday I have off effectively. My friend canceled our session. I think he has some work stuff he has to do. So what I'm gonna do, important. What I'm gonna do this Sunday, I'm going to start writing this section. I'm gonna see how I'm gonna try to get as much done of this hex crawl stuff as I can get done. People might be wondering, Notepad, why the fuck are you not talking about the hex crawl aspect in a stream about hex crawls? Because it's going to be a lot of me kind of... I'm going to make a call here. I'm probably going to regurgitate some information from other sources, and it's just going to be me compiling a bunch of notes together. That's really all it's going to be. It's not going to be too exciting. Then I'm just going to have time to just do everything. So... yeah, I mean, I might fix this section up. I might change how this works. I might change how other parts work. It's a lot of thinking. Pretty much my goal is this Sunday, I want to get as much cleaned up as possible to make this as the best I can. And once everything has kind of gotten into place a little bit, I should be good. So I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. Not quite as developed as I was hoping for at this rate. I'm mostly at an episode of 3. But next, I feel decent enough that next week we will be able to... my goal anyway, if I'm doing this correctly. I've been streaming with Niji Sanji girls a lot. Wouldn't be a surprise. Would not be surprised. My main goal is to split it up kind of like this. So if we do this Sunday, Monday... if we do this Sunday, Monday... we then move on to... Wednesday, and then if we choose to do, if we keep up the effort, we'll do something like this. If I get this done early enough, if I get this actually done on Sunday, we can immediately move on to this on Monday. Then this will be Wednesday, and if we have any problems, we'll just finish everything up on Friday, probably as Notepad Must Die. So that's the current plan. Will it happen? I don't know. Niji's already going to launch a brand. By the way, McDrusel, Niji is already going to launch a new wave here soon, because the Zion is. That's just going to cause problems everywhere. But I'm going to call it there. Godspeed, good luck. Hopefully, y'all have a wonderful rest of your night. I'm going to probably start immediately working on this, because I can, and it's gonna be great. Launch a new wave every 5. That is Niji Sanji's. That's their strategy. They don't need big numbers. Their individual talents do not need to have massive numbers. Yeah, sorry, Corporal. Sorry, Mr. Shepard. Why this has been kind of a long one. And maybe not getting as much work done, per stream as possible. This has just been a lot of... It's kind of a mixture of things. One, I'm getting a new job here soon, so that was Wednesday for me, kind of in a nutshell. So that'll be fun. Money, money, money. But then it's like, where do I put this? Where do I put this? Where do I put this? Where do we put this? Where do we put... It's been just a lot of like, how the fuck do I organize all this? Looking forward to the new job. The way that it's been pitched to me, we should be pretty good. Most likely what will occur is, instead of a stream consistently every Saturday, it'll probably be one every other Saturday. because they want people to take shifts. It's that kind of job. It's like you have to kind of barter for shifts a little bit, which I'm going to try to maintain my schedule the best I can. And nothing should change. You will probably notice later streams, possibly, depending on the situation, because I've already got told, effectively. I've already got told, like, oh yeah, like, you'll have to work a Saturday possibly one day, but it'll be like, you get here at 8 a.m. and you set up for an hour, and then you sit on your ass for 6 hours, and then you pack everything away. It's like, oh, fuck. So, don't worry, the game design will still continue. Wouldn't be surprised if you catch me being a little bit more tired, but everything should work out. If not, you guys will be the first to know. You know how that goes. $18 an hour, it's good money. Someone would call it there. Godspeed, good luck. I will see you all, most likely, I'll see you tomorrow at noon EST for the Jovian Sleigh Ride stream. So get ready for that. It'll be fun. All right, I'm